podcast. You got to let people go. You got to let people go. And I say that because I have come to the conclusion that you may know someone biologically, right? You may be born into the same family. Born into the same family. You may have the same dad, same mom. You may have the same mother, but not the same dad. You may have the same dad, but not the same mother. But either way, you're born into a family, right? And you have memories with them. You have, experiences with them. But that is no indicator that you are to remain in a relationship with them. It's no indicator. We all have different frames of mind. How I view the world is not how my sister, my brother, my mama, my daddy, and whoever else views the world. My experience is not their experience. What has shaped my psyche is not what has shaped their psyche. You understand what I'm saying? We all have individual lives to live. And listen, it doesn't matter if the person is your biological relative, because what is in their mind, unless you have the same mentality, the same life as those who you biologically know, it may work. You may be able to, carry out your dream, your vision with them. It may be possible. But the thing to focus on is this. It doesn't matter whether you're born into the same family. It doesn't matter at all. Now, why am I talking like this? Because I had an experience just yesterday. Just yesterday. And I came to the conclusion that I have ceased and desisted in giving opportunities for change. Not in me, but in the individual. I've stopped. I have no faith, no hope that any good will come out of me prolonging stupidity. So, look, you may be one of those type of persons or people that say, look, it's been 10 years, 20 years, 30 years that I've been dealing with this individual that has been nothing but a damn thorn in my side. But I'm gonna give him another chance. You may be that type of person. I'm not that type of person. Once I come to the realization that there is no chance of reconciliation, it's a done deal. You are my enemy. You are the enemy of my soul. You are an individual that has not one speck of respect for me. Your whole purpose in life is to destroy me to kill me, to remove any remembrance of me. That's my mentality. You're my enemy. And you know what? A lot of people don't understand what an enemy is. Let me tell you what an enemy is. Enemy is an individual or individuals that use every opportunity. They are actively seeking out ways of removing you. You understand? That's the place I've come to. I don't care. Listen, you might love your mama, you might love your daddy, you might love your mama, your daddy. I'm gonna tell you something. I can care less about blood being thicker than water. My experience is not yours, because they love you the most are the very ones that will disrespect everything you stand for. You understand? And then they want respect. You understand? I can care less about blood being thicker than water. Now, love covers, like the scripture says, love covers the multitude of sins, right? Love. If you love me, you're going to work with me. You're going to recognize that I am not you. You're going to respect me, right? You're going to respect everything about me, even if it rubs you the wrong way. You know what? He thinks different than I do. I don't think like that, but I respect him. You see what I'm saying? Love is the key. Listen, blood and all of this stuff means absolutely nothing to me. I've been treated worse by blood in my lifetime than by people that don't know nothing about me. Look, I lock my doors in the hood. I don't have to lock my doors in the suburbs where the white folk, I'm saying white folk because this is something you understand. I don't lock my doors in the white folks' neighborhood because they ain't trying to kill me. They ain't trying to rob me. I lock my doors in the hood, though. Why? Because black folk have no sense. They cutthroat. You understand? And then those that do have sense are on the end. You see what I'm saying? Listen, it's not white people that's causing problems. It ain't white people that's causing the problem for me. It's black folk. Huh? The ones that's perpetuating the hatred. Listen, just a side note. In elementary school, we read about slavery, what took place during slavery, right? And then I have to witness black folk in elementary school being upset at a white teacher, as if the white teacher is the racist that we have been reading about in the books. I'm so tired of that mess. You don't know what the hell your ancestors did to bring about their lynching. They probably was cursing the police out. Like they do today. Huh? Just cursing the police out, being disrespectful, pulling guns out on them, threatening them, all of that. So they lynch. All you know is what you read in a history book. But listen, you don't see it ain't white police walking into the stores just arresting black folk. No, you don't. But what looting, doing all kind of foolishness. Huh? It ain't the white people. It ain't white folk that's causing the problem. It's you. I can care less. Listen, I can care less about a Black History Month. I can care less about because my history delegated to a month. February, I was born in the month of February. I was born in the month of February. But February is not delegated in my mentality as a time to reflect on my history. My history is every day. My history has been since the beginning of time. Do you understand? I can care less, like, I can care less for a Black History Month. Huh? You ask me, how do you plan on getting rid of the perpetuation of racism, not talking about it? That's how. Huh? You ask me a question. I'm gonna give you an example. You ask me a question of how I feel about interracial marriages, how I feel about interracial relationships. I'm not gonna answer you. You know what I'm gonna tell you? Don't ask me that question. Ask me another. I'm not feeding into your stupidity. Just like I'm not feeding into the stupidity of this saying, blood is thicker than water. Shut up. My own blood can't stand me. Do you understand what I'm saying? My own blood can't stand me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Shut up with that mess. And when I say my own blood can't stand me, I'm talking about those that can't stand me. Do you understand? Blood is thicker than water. Shut up. Mud is thicker than both of them. Huh? You know how they got the saying, I came up out of the mud. Mud is thicker than both blood and water. Shut up. I'd rather go with that, the mud. Huh? Cause listen. Nobody can care less about my story. Can care less about my story. I have to tell my story. Cause I know you ain't. You understand? You ain't gonna tell my story. You care about your own. So I gotta tell my story. I'm telling. Huh? You better be your own encouragement. You better be the one that encourages you in every aspect of life. If you can encourage yourself, ain't nobody gonna encourage you. You understand? You better be your own fan. You better be the one that uh, lifts you up out of the muck and mire of society, cause ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? We live in a world. Listen, we live in a world that thrives on hatred, thrives on misinformation. We do. We live in a world that thrives on misinformation. Huh? We live in a world that, you know, argues over whose God is right, all of these different things. I can care less about whose God is right. I can care less about whose God is right. You understand? Don't tell me about your God. You understand? Now, don't get me wrong. I know that I am here because of a creator's choice. The creator of all things put me here. I didn't put myself here. But what I'm saying to you, I can care less about your God. You understand? I can care less. There's so many gods known to man, and yet we resist and rebel against the one that put us here. You understand? I tell you, man. I've come to the realization, not recently, but I've come to the realization that no one on the face of earth cares about my existence in the same manner that I do. You see what I'm saying? Nobody. Nobody cares about my existence in the same manner as I do. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are those, and it's few and far between. There are those that love me and care for me in the same manner that I love and care for myself. There are those. But the majority of those on the face of earth can care less about my existence, right? You know, listen, we live in a world now full of AI and different AI generated things, right? You know, and mankind is just flooded to the brim with falsity, right? That's the time we live in. That's why I say, what are you doing with every moment of your life? I can care less what you think about me. Do you understand that? I can care less what you think about me. Your thoughts don't make or break me. It's two things that's going on between you and I. One, you can care less about me, right? Or two, you will support me. You're going to love me. You're going to make sure that you are in a position of control of yourself and in control of how you deal with me. You see what I'm saying? Because look, if you don't respect me, you don't respect me, right? You don't respect me. So why would I have anything to do with you? If I don't respect you, why would you have anything to do with me? You understand what I'm saying? We live in a world that is deluded and watered down. What is the truth? We live in a world that don't know what the truth is. What's reality? We live in a world that don't even know what reality is. We live in a world that calls good evil. We live in a world that calls evil good. You understand? I'm just, I just wanted to get on here and just share some things. You know what I'm saying? Share some things. You know what I'm saying? I can care less about this notion that um, there are minorities or third world countries and all of this stuff. I can care less about that stuff. There ain't no such thing as that stuff. Ain't no such thing as a minority. No such thing as a third world country. No such thing. No such thing. Listen, you don't think every government on the face of earth, all of the governments and the government officials, you don't think they know what you are facing in life? You honestly believe that the president of the United States don't know that you are suffering, that you don't have medical insurance, that you don't have dental insurance, that you don't have what is needed to survive? You think the president of the United States is oblivious to that? He can care less, just like the dictators, the emperors, and whatever else. They can care less. Listen, it's about infrastructure and stuff like that. If you are not causing revenue, if you are not producing revenue, if you are not a reason to beautify your neighborhood where you live, they can care less. They'll let you die off. They'll let me die off. You understand? You think these people are oblivious to what you're dealing with? They're not oblivious to it. Well, I hope I said something worthwhile. If I didn't, that's fine too. Thank you for paying attention and giving your input, whether it was positive or negative. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, because what matters is what I'm saying, not what you're saying. What I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters. And I believe and know that I've said some things that are reality, that are the truth. God bless you.